Hey everybody, well this is right at the very beginning of the video and we're putting this here because we're going to have, like we said in the title, we have the new intro, but we're not showing the new intro until the end of this video, and after this video the new intro will always be the new intro for the following videos.
Okay.
That's super clear, right? So we're going to show that.
Because you need a little bit of information.
Yes, you need some explanation because there's something in the new intro that we need to explain in this video. So here's the old intro. Last time you're going to see it in any one of our new videos. So enjoy it and we'll get you on the other side.
Okay.
So that was our old intro. We are terrible at updating our intro because that's from like
Obviously.
3 years ago or something.
Yeah.
So welcome back. A lot of you have been asking for an update video on the kids. So here we are.
Yeah.
Also, sometimes, it's not often, but sometimes people mention that they'd like to see more of the kids. And I think as we've grown up with the internet, we've had this channel for 8 years now. It's kind of like when you look back on your old Facebook posts. I saw a meme the other day, like, there's no one I have less in common with than the person comment my Facebook account from 2008, you know?
Right.
We've all kind of like evolved and grown up with the internet, and I don't know, we just feel like we'd like the channel to be more about us and let our kids be just kind of like in the background, not because we're narcissists, though we are.
Obviously.
Obviously.
We have a YouTube channel.
But just to give them a little space to be growing up, and none of them have voiced any concern or... What was that?
Someone opened the door.
Oh my goodness.
We also still have children living in our home, so there's noise in the background sometimes.
So it just like let them, you know, do their thing in the background and not be too much too, I don't know.
Putting the camera in their face, whatever, making them perform.
We never did that.
I know, but sometimes it feels, you know,
anyway,
weird.
So we don't show them as much, just to give them that space.
Yeah, so we'll go through, give you an update on everybody, and then at the end we'll give you an explanation of what's going on in the new intro. So we'll start with...
We're going to go in
random order.
Order.
No real order here. So I'm going to let you do that because I'm not good at random. I'm only good at like oldest, youngest, or youngest.
Because otherwise
oldest.
You forget who your children are.
I do.
And like
I'll miss
what their
3 of
names
them.
are, yeah. Well, why don't we go ahead and start with Pearl.
Ooh.
Pearl just turned 18. It's funny all the time at church and as we're interacting with people, and I'll say, this is my daughter Pearl. She's 18 because like a couple years ago when she was 16 at church, there was a lady who would go around before the meeting started and she would hand out stickers to all the kids.
The little kids.
Yes, and she was always bringing stickers to Pearl. Until I finally said, no, she's 16. And she's like, oh, that's okay. 16-year-olds can still like stickers. And I think it was, I don't know. I probably shouldn't have said anything. But I was trying to like, because it was awkward for Pearl. Like, I don't really want her stickers. But so I do say that, like, she's tiny, but she's, you know, the oldest at home right now. And we have really enjoyed, in particular, the last year with Pearl, because Pearl is not a competitive person, and she won't fight to get her thoughts in if there's lots of people talking.
Right.
And now that she's become the oldest, though, she's kind of like even more come out of her shell. Oldest at home, and it's been really enjoyable. She's always been really outgoing with her siblings, but maybe not at the dinner table or with us as much. And it's been fun to see her in the last few years really blossom and come even more into her own. And I know some of you have mentioned that as well, especially during Pie Month. Pearl is funny. And so anyway, she's 18. She's finishing kind of her last year of, I guess, homeschooling, because it's not like she's a senior. Mm-hmm. But we do a program with our church called Seminary. And that's like a high school program. And she is in her senior year of seminary. So she's finishing that. And she has plans for next year, but they're still very much they're not solid yet. So I won't share what those are, but she will be here for at least about another year at home with us, maybe longer. She did just get braces on.
Yeah.
So we have at least, a year in those. But I think there's exciting things ahead. She is very artistic and plans on exploring that through different aspects. Anything she does artistically, she just immediately is able to do and do beautifully. And so we've seen her do so many different things, and I'm excited to see as she gets older, how much better she becomes at her trade, her craft. But
yeah, she's
that's
natural.
Pearl. And next we'll go to Jude. Jude is almost 12.
Yep.
And he's very excited about being 12 because that's when you enter the youth program at church. He's the youngest, and so he's been waiting until he could go to the teenager or youth activities with his siblings and all of the different things that come with that. He's very into Harry Potter still. That's probably his greatest love. He's reading it constantly, and he loves being outside. He loves crafting as well. He's often making things out of cardboard or anything he can get his hands on. He's very kind to his siblings. He's sweet and fun and smart and just a joy to have around.
If you're wondering what that boom was just a second ago, it was Eve jumping down the stairs. So
why don't you do Esther?
So Esther, like we've talked about somewhat previously, or not too long ago, she's in Virginia, living in the same town as Elijah. In fact, they're living in the same apartment, and she's working there and enjoying the social scene of being right there at SVU, or Southern Virginia University, and has 3 jobs right now as she builds up her hair business. Because as you probably know, Esther went to Aveda, got her what is it?
Cosmetology?
Okay. I never know if I'm saying it right. Cosmetology certificate. She's working on building that business and also working a couple of jobs and just enjoying the kind of college social scene there. There's quite a few college-age people there because of the school, so it's kind of fun.
Yeah, she thought about, should she actually enroll, but she really enjoys hair. That's her love, and it has been since she was a child, since even before we met her in China. It's cute. We have photos of her doing my hair in the hotel room right after we met her. And so she just gets to have the best of both worlds by working. Now, when we say 3 jobs, it's not like she's working 60 hours a week.
Full-time jobs, yeah.
It's just that they're kind of easier jobs, part-time jobs, in an ice cream shop and in a little Amish market, and then doing hair as that a business. She built her business there. It's great because she can go and participate in all of the on-campus activities and the performances and the kind of parties that they have. And that's been really great to have that social scene, which she wouldn't have here. It would have been easier for her to start her hair business here, and she knew that. But at the point of life she's in, she was more interested in having a social scene with people her age,
right,
than being here and having a more successful hair business, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So
makes sense to me.
Yeah. Then we'll do, how about Peter? Peter is 16. He's driving, he's a great driver. It's very helpful.
He's a good driver.
And Pearl is driving too. That's been for years now.
That's new though.
And he plays a lot of guitar. He's really mastered that. He loves guitar. I love hearing him play it. He loves writing, just like Andrew. They love playing Dungeons and Dragons, but it has its limitations, and so he's working on a project right now that kind of has to do with that, studying history to pull that together. And he and Asher also have a lawn care business together.
Oh yeah.
And
what did they call it?
Two Lads Lawn Care, and they have
we should put their little logo up on the screen. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's I wanted them to do flippin' awesome lawn care, where they both wore Vote for Pedro t-shirts and glasses because they look so much like Napoleon Dynamite. And how awesome would it be to see 2 Napoleon Dynamites mowing lawns, jeans? And they are still a little bit more self-aware and conscious that maybe they should be attractive to the females in the area. So they went with 2 Lads Lawn Care, kind of Irish themed, because they're Irish twins. Because people always ask them if they're twins. And they're not, but they're within a year of each other. So that's why they have that right now for earning money. They hang out a lot with their friends. We moved close enough.
Did you just switch to Asher
No,
too?
I'm still on Peter, but we moved close enough to where we used to live that they could still hang out with their old friends, but they're also making new friends, which is really nice.
So Asher is 15 and is always actively, for the most part, engaged in making something or building something. He loves working with his hands. He's gotten an interest in woodworking recently. If you've been watching videos for a while, he went through kind of a blacksmithing phase, did a lot with that. He used his forge so much that essentially it just fell apart.
Yeah.
But he kind of moved on to other things. woodworking. He's building a shelter back in the woods behind our house here, which is actually pretty cool. He kind of dug this thing out.
It's like when we say a shelter, it's not just like sticks and stuff. Like it's got like a stone stacked with like.
He's making a chimney for it.
Chimney
so
and
we can have a fire in
fireplace.
there.
And
it's a real legit structure as far as like kind of a prehistoric kind of deal.
yes.
So that's kind of what he's all about, is all that sort of thing. And he stays pretty busy.
At the end, like I guess last year, after he did blacksmithing, got really into like engines and stuff. So he bought a go-kart and like repaired it, overhauled it, and sold it. And then Peter also got a free car from my brother that needed work, and they both worked on that and replaced the brakes on it and did some other work on it and got it cleaned up and sold that. So they got really into car stuff last year. He probably would have continued being interested in that. We just don't have the space here as much because we don't have that warehouse or whatever.
Yeah, we have the shop he could use. So Asher's very much a hands-on guy and continues to do that. So that's his big thing.
Okay, so Andrew is serving as a full-time missionary in South Africa in a city called Durban, or in that area. He's been gone for 16 months, which is crazy.
Wow.
He's been there so long that he said it's like hard to remember like life before, like he is so immersed in African culture and
his work there.
That it's like he can't really remember when he wasn't there, which is weird to me, but so it's going fast, but it's also not in that way. We love hearing his stories, just his wild adventures, and how much he loves the people and the culture down there. He's gotten to do a lot of very typical like South African things, including like going to like a lion park and like getting to like play with lion cubs and stuff like that.
Having monkeys steal his stuff.
Yes,
and attack
being assaulted by monkeys.
Yeah, and actually getting assaulted and robbed by a guy through their car window, like all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah, lots of stuff, but also just really enjoying sharing the gospel there, and it's great. We talk to him every week. It's been fun to watch him. He's the fourth to go from the family, and each of these kids on their missions have had such different experiences, and it's been really fun for the rest of us to kind of live through them during that time.
We'll do Eve next. I think she's actually eating in the background, so you might hear some clicking.
We got
the kitchen right here.
Food chopped very thoroughly when she's eating breakfast.
So Eve loves lots of artistic type endeavors. She likes to draw. She likes to make cards. She makes like a bajillion cards all the time for everybody, for whatever she can think of. She loves all things princess and that sort of thing.
Jane Austen is her favorite.
Right, that's true.
Little House on the Prairie she is loving. So she gets on her, like, we have like a prairie dress costume that she loves with like a bonnet. What are those called? Yeah, just bonnets, I guess. She loves wearing that. She's also getting better at reading. Really, like, I think a lot of times with kids who have Down syndrome, you kind of just have to, it's a little bit slower, maybe the acquisition of skills, and you just have to kind of be ready for when they're ready. And she's starting to do better and better with her reading and writing. And so that's exciting to watch, and such a helpful skill to have literacy, so that's really great.
But she's also super spunky and super
social?
Stubborn.
Oh.
That's what I'm gonna say. She's also social, but she gives us a run for our money sometimes.
Yeah.
But everyone loves having her around. She's like Megan. She's super funny. She's the funniest member of the family by far. So. Yeah,
and she loves going to church. She thinks it's so fun, and all of the kids at church, or the youth group, are so welcoming to her. And wherever we've gone, people love Eve and just welcome her and befriend her, and that's really, really great. Since we are homeschoolers, it's really great to have that community to lean on. So
yeah. Okay, who's next?
Elijah.
So Elijah is working and living up in Virginia at Southern Virginia University in their marketing department as a creative producer.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially creating content for them for their social media stuff, and really liking it. It's a great job. He's really good at it. Elijah's always been very talented and interested in cameras and either taking photos or video, and this is just right up his alley as far as what he's great at and what he enjoys.
Yeah, it's been really exciting to see him finally, like all of these years of experience, come together and to see him like help the school with his talents and make things that they're really, really happy with.
Should put a link to that tour video
in
the description.
He just completed a tour video for them, and so he is filming these things and editing these things and doing all of that sort of work. So he's flying drones for them and doing all sorts of amazing camera work and
editing and the whole thing.
Yeah, so we're really proud of him and the work that he's doing there. And it's just, he's our oldest. And so it's so great to be able to see kind of the fruit of the freedom they had growing up to explore their interest and get really good at things. And so it makes me so excited that I know that he's the first or the oldest, but it's just going to keep happening, and we're going to see more and more our kids using the skills that they started to develop as teenagers, and then use them to bless the lives of others around them and in their community. So.
All right, we'll talk a little bit about what we're doing before we get to the last one. We promise we haven't forgotten anyone yet. We're going to get there. So I'm still doing my pilot training. That's going well and enjoying it and kind of making progress there. I'm also starting something kind of related to that, which I've alluded to before, but I'm going to start my own little YouTube video or YouTube channel / podcast. It's going to be about kind of what I'm doing, but more, I thought I would make it a little bit broader, because as I've told people, just kind of as we talk to people at church and friends and family and talked about this career change that I'm in the midst of, I've had multiple people tell me that they also at some point either wanted to make a career change or are thinking about it, but have expressed how that's a scary thing to do, and that it's just they're unsure about it or didn't ever do it because they were too afraid of it. And so I thought, well, this Career 2.0 thing is probably kind of something people are interested in, especially at my age or people close to my age. So I thought, why not talk more about that in general? So the podcast / YouTube channel is going to be about just making a career change midlife and how to do that. And my plan is to bring people onto that podcast or show, whatever you want to call it, and interview them about changes they've made in their careers, just to let people know that it's possible and see how other people have done it. I'm saying that because when I do it, I'm going to kind of direct you guys over there so you send people you know to it. But also, if you know someone who has made a career change midlife, anywhere from 30s to 50s, I consider that to be midlife or mid-career, you should send us an email and let me know who they are, and I might be interested in interviewing them on that channel, because I know what my experience is, but I'm interested in other people's experiences as well and how they've done it. So email us at contact@knorppandsouth.com and send me that information if they're willing to do it or whatever, and we'll see if we can line that up. Anyway, so that's kind of what I'm working on.
Well, and that's a really good fit for Mike. He has always been somebody who loves asking people about the work that they do. And so he's kind of an introvert, so he always is like, doesn't want to go to parties or to get-togethers, but when we get there, he's talking way more than me and asking people questions about what they do in their lives. He's very curious about what other people do. So
yeah, so send people my way, and I'm looking forward to starting that and probably doing a weekly thing, posting that, and just to hopefully help other people who have thought about or would maybe like to make a change, but it's just, we all know that it's a scary thing to do. So anyways, that's what I'm working on. What about you, Megan? What are you doing?
What am I doing? What
are you up to? I mean, we kind of record what you're up to more than...
Yeah, we do. I mean, the channel is more about what I'm doing. But I'm definitely doing kind of the experiment of leaning with more intentionality into homemaking. I have always been homemaking, but I think in the last few years, I've been finding more joy in it and trying to be more intentional about finding meaning and purpose in it. It's been kind of a wild experience for me because I didn't know how fulfilling the seemingly mundane of task of the home could be, and how like transformative they can be for me as an individual, especially as I do them with meaning and purpose. And so I'm doing that. I also still want to learn some new skills. I'm so inspired by Mike because he is literally poring over these books that are so technical. Something I've actually never seen Mike do. I mean, we went to college together. We were married when Mike was a freshman in college. And so we went to college together. And but to see him now, I guess 25 years later almost, poring over textbooks with all sorts of information in them that looks so boring. They don't look boring necessarily. They look tedious. They look difficult. And he's doing that. And I'm like, well, if Mike can learn, he's on the path to learn how to fly one of those huge planes in the air, which is mind-blowing to me, then I could probably learn to paint and illustrate. So,
which to me sounds impossible. So it's just
for me to learn how to paint and illustrate.
Right. No, for me to do. That's anyways. So it's just what your strengths are, what you're interested in.
Yeah, and so I know I am very aware that I am leaning into homemaking, but also in a way having less and less homemaking to do. I still love to bake and things, but I'm baking too much. I'm making too much because I have to end up throwing it away. We give away, but like
eat all of it.
We can't eat it all, and so I can't put all of my creative process into things along those lines. I am very aware that in 5 years I'll only have 2 kids at home, and not many years after we'll just have Eve here with us. And so I also know that like I need to start to create some, for me, a career 2.0. I don't see it as a career, but maybe a pursuit 2.0. And so
Pursuit 2.0.
I need to, so I'm trying to figure out how to, I'm scared.
You're really going through all your thought process.
I know. I'm doing that loud. I'm like, well, why am I? This is not a big deal. It's like, it's scary though. It is scary to make yourself vulnerable to a new skill. And, but I'm going to keep trying to do that and hopefully find teachers just like Mike has and courses just like Mike has for learning. I need to do that. And it's fun. I get to do it with Pearl and I get to be inspired by all the creative things she's doing. And so we have things that we'd like to learn, not just illustrating. We want to learn dressmaking. That's really our goal this year, is to learn dressmaking, but we'll get there. And last but not least, finally, we've been putting it off till the end. And this has been hinted in the comments. People who follow Daniel on Instagram already know this. But we didn't, I don't know, we've never done this before. We're new to having, we've had a YouTube channel. Okay.
Just say it.
Daniel is out in Utah. He's been going to Utah Valley University studying in their culinary arts program. And he fell in love and he's getting married.
He's what? You said it real fast.
He's getting married.
Oh, okay.
Daniel's fiance's name is Lauren, and they're getting married in 2 months from yesterday.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I know. And we are so happy for him. He has chosen such an amazing girl. They
chose each other, actually.
Well, yes, but we adore Lauren. She is going to school out there as well.
So they got engaged in September, right?
Yeah.
Officially.
Yeah, they started dating in January. I don't know. But Daniel immediately called us when they started dating and said he'd met someone special. And we were like, okay, well, we'll see. But he just was immediately enamored with her and knew that she was something special. And then when we finally met her, we knew it too. She's amazing. We're so excited to have another Knorpp.
Yeah.
And
so she made it into the intro. That's why we said that, because
yes.
You're going to get a quick look at Lauren on the intro.
Yes, so. And then they are coming home for Thanksgiving, so you'll get to see her a little bit more. We're still trying to navigate, like, when somebody marries into the family, do they also marry into the YouTube channel, you know? Like,
of course they do. You got to perform for us.
Yeah, so we'll see, but we love her. We really, really love her. We feel like she's a perfect fit for Daniel and for the whole family, and we feel really excited for him to be the first and for her to be the first. It's like amazing to me. I love having a big family, and I just feel so grateful and blessed to be growing the family even more and to see such amazing people. It's like he went out and found such an amazing girl to bring into the family and to make to bring to the Knorpp clan, and it makes me really excited for the growth that we're going to see over the next few years, and see who else we get to know too. So
yeah, it's great. Really,
really fun. So very excited and can't wait.
We didn't miss anybody, did we?
No.
Okay, good. Whew.
No, can't wait to share all of that with you. And we're just really excited about what we have ahead. And we're definitely transitioning to new careers and to pursuits, but also to a new phase of life where we are becoming the parents of these couples. And
well, that family starts to grow again in a different way, but it's exciting to see like more growth in the future.
Yeah,
right?
Really, really exciting.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
I think a lot about what would make an amazing grandma, and I'm trying to pursue that as well. So thanks for coming along, guys. It's been wild to share our lives for the last 8 years. Sometimes we often feel really crazy at what we do, but also really blessed. And to get to know all of you and to have your support and friendship over the last 8 years has been a blessing. And here's to the next 8.
That should be awesome.
8 is great. that's it. Enjoy our new intro.
Oh yeah, we're going to go. Is the intro and outro today?
Yes.
Okay.
Enjoy the new intro, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.